rights violations and at least 9 million premature deaths a year, and that the issue is largely being overlooked. The coronavirus pandemic has caused close to 5.9 million deaths, according to data aggregator Worldometer. Current approaches to managing the risks posed by pollution and toxic substances are clearly failing, resulting in widespread violations of the right to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment, the report's author, UN Special Rapporteur David Boyd, concluded. Due to be presented next month to the UN Human Rights Council, which has declared a clean environment a human right, the document was posted on the Council's website on Tuesday last week. It urges a ban on polyfluoroalkyl and perfluoroalkyl, man-made substances used in household products, such as non-stick cookware, that have been linked to cancer and dubbed forever chemicals because they don't break down easily. That term, originally used to describe nuclear test zones, was expanded in the report to include any heavily contaminated site or place rendered uninhabitable by climate change. It also seeks the cleanup of polluted sites and, in extreme cases, the possible relocations of affected communities, many of them poor, marginalized, and indigenous, from so-called sacrifice zones. UN Rights Chief Michelle Bachelet has called environmental threats the biggest global rights challenge, and a growing number of climate and environmental justice cases are invoking human rights with success. Chemical waste is said to be part of negotiations at a UN Environment Conference in Nairobi, Kenya, starting on Monday next week, including a proposal to establish a devoted panel similar to Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
Thanks for tuning in. 记得我们每日跟读、精选词汇以及 Intense Podcast 节目都在各大 Podcast 平台同步放送，也欢迎分享我们官网 www.15minutes.today 以及 Facebook 粉专给亲朋好友。通勤学英语 ，Improving your English on the go. Catch you in the next one. 我们下期见。Hey there， 你听到英文会很抗拒吗？自行学习又没人陪，欢迎收听通勤学英语。周一到周五，John 老师陪着你一起朗读世界时事趣闻。每日只要利用通勤的时间，就可以习惯听英文，以及跟老师一起念英文。For best results， 每天可以跟着我一起读2到3遍。需要协助时，往上一滑，找到单集简介里就有双语逐字稿可以陪伴你哦。Are you ready? Let's get started.
Enemy at the gates. The background to the Ukraine crisis. At the core of the Ukraine crisis is a puzzle. Why would Russian President Vladimir Putin push Europe to the brink of war to demand the West not to do something that it has no plan to do anyway? Russia says NATO, the American-led alliance that has on its hands the biggest European crisis in decades, must never offer membership to Ukraine, which gained independence as the Soviet Union broke apart about 30 years ago. Ukraine has long aspired to join NATO, but the alliance is not about to offer an invitation, due in part to Ukraine's official corruption, shortcomings in its defense establishment, and lack of control over its international borders. Putin's demands go beyond the question of Ukraine's association with NATO, but that link is central to his complaint that the West has pushed him to the limits of his patience by edging closer to Russian borders. He asserts that NATO expansion years ago has enhanced its security at the expense of Russia's. Why is Putin worried about Ukraine joining NATO? The stated reason is that a further eastward expansion of NATO would pose a security threat to Russia. Washington and its allies deny this is a valid worry, since no NATO country is threatening to use force against Russia. More broadly, Putin wants NATO to pull back its existing military presence in Eastern Europe, which includes a regularly rotating series of exercises in Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, all former Soviet states. Putin also opposes NATO's missile defense presence in Romania, a former Soviet satellite state, and a similar base under development in Poland, saying they could be converted to offensive weapons capable of threatening Russia. Ukraine has deep historical and cultural ties to Russia, and Putin has repeatedly asserted